This video is about celebrating diverse food traditions and hearing about people's relationship to food and homeland in order to remain healthy. We were motivated to create this video when we first learned about the healthy immigrant effect. This is the notion that when newcomers and immigrants arrive in Canada, they are healthier than the average Canadian, but after 5 to 10 years of being in Canada, their health decreases to match the average Canadian's health or lower. While there are other possible determinants of health that influence the decline of newcomers' health over time, such as level of physical activity, economic status, education, and others, we were curious about the relationship of food and health in maintaining newcomers' health. The project took a participatory approach, and we encouraged participants to share stories about traditional food customs, cultural connections, and nutritional habits from their home country. In a multicultural setting, participants shared ideas and recipes around cooking, food preservation, and challenges to accessing food. Out of these experiences, a group of Indigenous participants emerged to contribute their perspectives on food justice. Many urban Indigenous people have migrated from their traditional lands either in the recent past or in past generations, and have many barriers preventing them from traditional food gathering, preservation, and preparation. In this video, we explore many benefits in eating and sharing traditional foods through the stories of 4 guests who now live in the Greater Vancouver area: Haida and the Tsimshian Territory in northern BC, Lima, Peru, Osaka and Kanazawa, Japan, and Kabul, Afghanistan. For simplicity, we have divided this information into 4 themes: health and wellness, cultural connection and identity, access and availability, adapting and belonging. Health and wellness. According to the World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, spiritual, and social well-being. One way we talk about health in community is in the sense of connectedness we have to one another and all our relations.
Well, in the winter times especially, we would have a lot of soups, halibut stew, halibut soup. And nowadays you can put as well as salmon and halibut and clams and everything. And most of the food that we would have would be right from our ocean, right? They go out and go and get it, and we'd eat fresh food all the time. So dessert, we had the berries, and normally we would go out berry picking and get salmon berries, huckleberries, blueberries, and other berries too, and we mix them together and put a little bit of ooligan grease in there.
In our time, we used to use grease, and or half a teaspoon of warm grease when you have the flu, real bad chest cold, and you just take a teaspoon like every 3-4 hours. That was our medicine. We used to drink that.
Health is not just about what you put into your body, but how do you maintain it? How do you deal with stress in your life? And that's where culture comes in. Culture is an excellent way of putting whatever's going on outside those doors, keeping it outside there for an hour and feeling that drumbeat, or watching our kids, our little grandchildren out there dancing, or whatever it is. So health is there's so many ways that you can look at health.
Cultural connection and identity. In these stories, it is difficult to discern a difference between cultural identity and food. Food is culture and homeland. It makes us think of our childhood and family values. These stories reveal how bringing food traditions support our children's healthy development and situate us in place.
I made a Japanese rolled omelet and grilled fish. That was mackerel, and also miso soup. Oh, and spinach goma ae, spinach sweet sesame sauce. The food I prepared today especially miso soup. When I was kids, when I wake up, I smell, a Japanese broth and a miso soup, and a kind of sound of cutting the vegetable, So that's how I used to spend, my morning time. So this memory is really, really big for me. That reminds me of my really, childhood.
I like her miso soup, what she makes sometimes, and I'll still like it even if she makes it every day.
And we say itadakimasu, right? Before you eat. So which means
I'm taking
the lives, appreciation as well. But after you eat, you actually say,
Gochisousama.
by doing this, it's again, thank you for all of
the
it.
gift of
Yeah.
food. Yeah.
We still have that tradition, even now. I think almost all the family in Japan, they do this every day, each meal. That's something I want to pass on to her, to the next generation, even though she was born in here.
Access and availability. It can be hard to find foods we are accustomed to eating from our traditional ways, the foods we were used to eating when we were growing up. Sometimes foods are more expensive since it does not grow in this climate and has to travel long distances.
Called in Delhi, Qabli Palau include this the rice, raisin, carrot. I use some spicy things and oil and also the other dish to make some extra meat, like the meat is doesn't matter, it's chicken or lamb or veal, but the last time we put all together and make it one food.
I think some of the challenges with getting like a certain dish prepared here is that at first when you're new to Canada, it's kind of not knowing what the ingredients are called, so that would be a challenge. But I think if you just over time go to stores, you can just by looking at those ingredients, going to specific section that's got like spices and going through the spices to see what you're looking for, you can find it. And sometimes the spices that we use are not there, so for that reason, like you could go to like special stores, like I don't know, Persian stores or Afghani stores, local stores that got, they probably have those ingredients, and I think those are the best way to just find it easily. To have access to Afghani food, it's kind of like, unless you know how to make it and unless it's prepared at home, otherwise like there's only like a few restaurants here, and they're quite pricey too, but they have really good food.
Adapting and belonging. As we learn to adapt our foods in a new country or a new culture, we become creative. We use different spices, we find substitutes for different ingredients, we blend dishes together for new fusions, and we try new foods.
Today I prepared the most popular plate dish in Peru. Is that name is ceviche. Ceviche is from the fish. This fish is cooking with lemon, onion, and onion, garlic. Is very healthy. Is for everybody. This ingredient is nutritive and to benefits for the body.
My challenges is when I came to Canada. At first, I feel frustration because when I visit the store, I can find my original ingredients, and then in this time I couldn't prepare my typical food. But somebody advised me, but you can try with other ingredients similar. You can prepare, try. Right? I tried to add different but similar ingredient. The taste is not identical to my country, but the taste is good.
Oh, but the good news
Yeah.
is because some store buy the products from Peru. Some ingredients, I'm lucky now. No, it's mixing with the ingredients from here and from Peru too, well, it's that make it similar.
Food is something we have all through our lives. It can bring us memories that connect us to our parents, our grandparents, our land, and our history. It is wonderful to eat food from other cultures, and at the same time, it is so important for so many of us to continue eating traditional foods. Food from home is integral to many people's sense of well-being, their identities, and their connection to their communities. It can help people to make home away from home. We can be proud to be who we are, wherever we are from.